As far as crowdfunding in Asia is concerned, it is really at infancy stage. There are a lot of work to be done. If you talk about donation-based, reward-based, these are different kinds of crowdfunding that's already in existence in the market space. But specifically when you move in to talk about equity or debt-based, there are a lot of work that needs to get done to enroll the respective agencies to support such an initiative.
The ability of entrepreneurs through an online funding platform to raise money, small amounts of money, from a lot of people in up to $1 million in the US of potential funding for your opportunities. For many of you, that won't be sufficient, and I recognize that. You may need to still go to the established venture capitalists who continue to have a role to play in helping fund those opportunities. Most VCs don't want to invest less than $5 million. Most angel networks will do somewhere between $1 million and $5 million. Crowdfunding is supposed to fill a gap, which is the below the $1 million increment from the unaccredited investor crowd. It's not permissible in the United States today. It is permissible in certain emerging jurisdictions, depending on what their business model is in the Australian markets, to some degree in the UK markets. But most people are still looking to the United States to see how what we call Title III crowdfunding evolves. There is, however, and it is permissible today, what we call accredited crowdfunding. And that allows you to raise money from accredited investors. And accredited investors is a term of art in the US. It's slightly different in other countries, but let's assume it's people of means, people who've made a lot of money one way or another, and the regulators aren't as concerned about those people investing in your opportunities and potentially losing money. If you're an accredited investor, you can go on the ourcrowd.com website and look at lots of interesting opportunities. Whether or not there are any clean tech, hydro deals, I don't know. I believe that that is the type of high growth opportunity that that site would find interesting, so it's worth checking out. If they find your opportunity interesting, they will do due diligence, they will verify the opportunity. They tend not to invest in just startups, so you have to have some traction. And then they have to verify that opportunity the same way a venture capital firm would. On the Our Crowd site, they have a lot of angel investors who invest in these opportunities. They have traditional venture capital firms that will also co-invest with the crowd, as we call it. And then there are also some corporate venture capitalists who are also on that site. You have to present a business plan. It's got to be well thought out. It's got to describe what it is that you intend to do with the money that you're seeking from those investors. And this is all online for everybody in that ecosystem, Our Crowd or other sites, to see. So if you're worried about giving away competitive information, you need to be careful as to what information you post to that website. And on that website, it'll be, as I said, the detailed business plan, who the management is, what the opportunity is, what the compensation for the people involved are. If you guys have been involved with any financings, it's standard disclosure that's otherwise required in order to be attractive to investors. It needs to be thoughtful, it needs to be presented well, and just because it's online doesn't mean it can be sloppy. When you're on that site, there will be detailed risk factors so that the investors understand fully what it is that they're investing in, so when and if you lose their money, there won't be legal consequences, hopefully. The oldest platform in the world is in Australia. It's called ASSOB, for the Australian Small Scale Offering Board. They've raised over $140 million for companies on that platform. And most interestingly, because a lot of people are concerned that crowdfunding is self-selecting all the bad deals. Because if there were good deals, we'd all go to VCs and get money. The Australian small scale site, 7 years of experience, I think their failure rate of those opportunities is less than 15%. In the United Kingdom, you have debt lending sites that do crowdfunding for debt. Look at fundingcircle.com. reason.The.co.uk. They've raised a similar amount of money. They also have British government lending money through that site to small businesses, probably cash flowing businesses, so I'm not sure it's appropriate for hydro entrepreneurs who may not have cash flowing businesses at the moment. There are other equity sites for accredited investors in England, Cedars, SEEDRS.co.uk, Seed Up. In Italy and France to do crowdfunding. I don't know the rules that well, but I believe it is lawful for unaccredited crowdfunding in those jurisdictions, and you'd have to find the sites that are catering to that community to really understand what their business models are. Today's session, speaking with these young Singapore-based hydropreneurs, is why I am as passionate about crowdfunding as I've been for the last couple of years. It is exciting because it gives me the prospect of introducing a new securities program, a new way of raising money for entrepreneurs to young, talented, experienced professionals so that they can raise money and pursue their dreams.
The end of the day is that, what I'm trying to drive is really to create a trusted platform with full transparency to build the confidence of investors and to protect the interests of people who step in or step up into the space of crowdfunding.